Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is must watch for those who want to nail interview for the working student position or internship in Germany. Whether you are targeting big name companies or smaller firms, from my experience, the interviews in Germany go more or less in the same format, and regardless of the company size, they are more or less following the same structure. So whether you're aiming for a spot at a multinational corporation or a local startup, these tips will help you to shine. And before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, my channel is packed with valuable tips about working and living in Germany, and you won't want to miss it. So I mentioned shortly in the last video also the questions that I was asked in the interview and how I answered them and what are more or less expectations in the German interviews. And today I'm going to share more about that, what is important to them, and what you have to pay attention to. Now let's break it down into four main stages: first impressions, preparation, interview day, and follow-up. Remember, the first minutes, and I also mentioned it in the last video, are crucial. I impressed my hiring manager so much during my introduction that I received an offer just 2 weeks later, which is lightning fast in Germany. So first impressions, nail your self-introduction. You have to keep it short and engaging. For example, you say, "Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a computer science student at Technical University in Munich. I'm passionate about AI and I recently led a project that improved student services responses time by 40%. I'm excited to bring my skills to your blah 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 company." Something like that. Then you have to show enthusiasm and cultural fit, that you have to let them know why you want to work there. An example would be, "I admire your company's focus on industry, blah, blah, blah. Your commitment to precision, your efficiency aligns perfectly with my work ethic." So you have to mention, you have to show, first of all, that you did your homework, you did the research about the company, you know what they're cool about, and you are perfectly cool and really aligning with their mission and vision. You are perfectly fitting into their culture. Second stage, preparation. So you have to research the company, of course. Whenever it comes to Germany, you have to research, and again research, no matter if it's visa application, if it's student application for university, or if it's job application, even more. So you have to study the company's mission, recent projects, and culture. You have to prepare specific reasons for wanting to join them. Then you have to polish your language skills. Even if the interview is in English, it's still a good idea to practice a little bit some business vocabulary before the interview. Also, it's a good idea to practice a little bit of German. If you speak German, at least at the level B1. If you speak lower, then it doesn't really make sense. For example, they might ask you in the interview, "How was your weekend?" in German, and it would be good if you just say, it was nice. I spent my weekend researching the company, and I know that you have this and this projects." That would really impress them. Then you have to prepare answers for the most common questions, which you can also Google on the internet what they usually ask in the interviews. It's nothing super special. Germans also ask the questions that are no, more or less asked globally in any company. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? But there are also some very peculiar interviews where they ask more behavioral questions, and this is where it comes tricky. And when it is behavioral questions, you cannot really prepare to have right answers. You just have to be yourself and answer all of the questions in a confident manner. But more or less, you can prepare for the technical questions using the STAR method. Actually, yeah, you can also use this method for answering the behavioral questions. For example, if they ask, "Tell me about a problem you solved," then you have to um, give a situation during a group project, for example, where a task was we needed to improve our machine learning model. I suggested using a new assemble method, and this improved our accuracy by 25%. So the STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. And you all have to give as a coherent, compelling story. What was the situation? What was your task? How you acted in that task? And what kind of result you caused in the end with your action. That is very impressive, and Germans like this flow of the story when you're smoothly, turning from one paragraph to another paragraph, and they can feel that you are really very structured in telling the story, especially highlighting in that story what are your key strengths. On the interview day, you have to arrive early and dress professionally, of course. Usually you have to aim to arrive 10-15 minutes earlier than them. Normally German companies, they don't have dress code. Even big companies, I think, like consulting companies, big four banks, they have quite a casual dress code. But still, if you don't know whether they have dress code or not, it's always a good idea just to dress up formally, not a tie with a suit, but something between casual and formal. You should be able in the interview to navigate small talks, of course. Be ready for some casual questions about weather or how was your weekend or how was your journey. Be friendly, be confident, and also ask them back to show that you're interested and you're just not a robot answering even the questions of small talk in a prepared manner. Of course, showcase your skills in the interview with some concrete examples. Share relevant experiences. Don't tell them the stories that are not relevant for the job position. For example, if it's an IT or computing position, you might say, in my database course, referring to your curriculum at the university, I built a system handling 10,000 concurrent users, similar to challenges your e-commerce platform faces, something like that. This is a bit too smart, but you can still find something more or less similar on the internet, phrasing also, and prepare in that manner what is your background and how it is relevant for the company. If you don't have any work experience, it's always good to refer to the curriculum and the courses that you did at the university and what kind of achievements you have in those courses. And the last thing in the interview, you have to demonstrate cultural fit. So you have to show that you enjoy teamwork. Germans really appreciate it. For example, you have to say maybe, while I'm proud of leading our blah 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 assignment at the company or in the group project to the victory, to this and this result, what I valued most was our effective collaboration under pressure. Germans really appreciate people who are able to collaborate within the team. Next stage is follow up. You might want to send a thank you email within 24 hours. It's always good if you do that. You kind of reiterate your interest in the position. For example, you say in your email, thank you for discussing the internship opportunity. Our conversation about some kind of specific topic further convinced me that the skills in this and this area would be a great fit for your team. So let's wrap it up. Key points to remember. For some companies, GPA matters. I mean, your performance at the university, especially if you have nothing else to show off, you have no work experience, you're completely fresh, you just study and you never worked before. It's good to have higher than average performance and stress it in your resume, and then also come to it in the interview. Especially it is important for consulting companies, maybe for some banks. I saw it when I was researching the companies where I want to apply. I think it was even Commerzbank, which is not super pooper prestigious place to work, but they were still asking for excellent students application, or they were mentioning that they would prefer if you have higher than average GPA, something like that. University prestige doesn't matter that much, I would say. More or less all of the interviews which I went through, they never mentioned or they never asked what kind of university I'm studying in. I mean, they never mentioned that it is important to them in the job description. And there are some, I think I encountered some of the descriptions of internships, maybe at Credit Suisse or some other big banks or big four again, where they were mentioning, yeah, this and this high caliber universities are welcome. But in general, the employers in Germany don't pay attention to the reputation of the university. Maybe they just know that, For example, Frankfurt Business School has always shining graduates and they prefer to hire them, but it doesn't mean that they exclude other university graduates or other university students and they don't consider them for their jobs. I work at the big corporate in Frankfurt together with, even though I studied in a very average applied sciences university somewhere in Mainz, I'm still working in the same kind of level with other more high caliber graduates from Frankfurt Business School, and we have same salary, have same kind of like assignments and title. So they are not really different anyhow from me. Language skills, can this really can set you apart from other candidates? Of course, obviously, if you speak German and you speak German at a solid level, you will be at the top of the list of the candidates. Cultural awareness, show understanding of German business culture. Of course, punctuality and structure has to be something that you like, otherwise you will not really collaborate well with them. If you don't like it, then better look for a job at an international company where it's not that German, maybe some startups. Berlin, for example, is full of startups, and if you're not really a fan of German culture, the German soft skills like punctuality, for example, then you might want to avoid applying for those companies, traditional old German companies. Structured responses is the thing that Germans are paying attention most to. So use frameworks like STAR, as I mentioned, to organize your thoughts. Also, I mentioned in the previous video how important it is to really well structure your resume. They pay attention to that to avoid any spelling or grammar mistakes and just make it nice, make it stand out. Same way you have to prepare for your interview, it has to be organized, structured, and they have to see and recognize that you prepared for it. If they see that you didn't prepare, they will see it in the very first minutes. They will recognize you didn't prepare for it. You will not pass. That's it. Remember that nailing these interviews comes down to preparation, authenticity. You have to be authentic whenever whatever you answer in your interview. Don't try to seem super smart. Just be yourself. Talk about your achievements. What they want to see is that even if you have small achievements or little to no achievements because you have no work experience or you just started studying, maybe you're a bachelor student, because bachelor students also can apply for a work position, for a part-time job or for internship. What they want to see is that you can wrap up your achievements so far, whatever you have, in such a way to impress them. So you're so confident about it, even if you have little to no achievements. It's very important to know how to wrap them up, how to present them in your resume, and how to tell about them in the interview when you like orally presenting what is your biography. Nailing the interviews comes down to preparation, authenticity, and confidence. By following these steps and tailoring your approach to each company, you will be well on your way to securing that dream position in Germany. That's it for today's video. If you found this helpful, please give it thumbs up. Don't forget to comment below with your own interview experiences or with topics that you want to hear next. Your engagement really motivates me a lot to create more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!